Most students are back in the classroom. Some black families in the Fox Valley say they feel left out, unheard, and unseen by their district.
A program in Menasha schools that aimed to help black students graduate and get into college was canceled this year due to controversy. In a First Alert investigation, Joshua Peguero has been investigating over the past several weeks what led to that decision and the concerns that parents have and experts have on how this may impact closing the racial achievement gap.
Lamont Robinson has 3 kids enrolled in Menasha Public Schools. His daughter Amira just began 8th grade at Maplewood Middle School.
I was talking to my daughter about it, and she was really glad that I enrolled her into the STAR program, and I seen a different change of her when she came home from school.
Short for Scholars on Target to Achieve Results, STAR supports black students in the Fox Valley, providing them with tutoring and counseling in schools.
She was more focused, and she was asking more about her history and stuff like that and how we got here. And
the Boys and Girls Club of the Fox Valley launched the program in 2018 for Appleton and up until May in Menasha schools. Amira says she benefited from the extra tutoring and having an educator of color who could relate to her struggles while pushing her to succeed.
I just think that more teachers should start helping the African American students more like he did, because not all teachers help like that.
Yet issues arose in the fall of 2020 with administrators over a STAR counselor displaying a Black Lives Matter sign in class and an educator wearing a Black Power mask. In emails we obtained through an open records request, Superintendent Chris Vanderheiden writes BLM is a political organization, thus any display with Black Lives Matter violates district policy. Vanderheiden at one point called out a kindergarten teacher for putting up a BLM poster. At least 2 parents emailed the district complaining about BLM during the 2020-2021 school year. Both Menasha's superintendent and the Boys and Girls Club declined speaking on the record when we reached out to them about this specific issue. On April 2nd of this year, the superintendent, however, received a letter from several community leaders and those on the STAR Advisory Committee saying that Black Lives Matter is a civil rights movement, not a political organization. The superintendent responded in disagreement on April 23rd, stating it is a political entity and promoting the group violates district policy. On May 18, he notified the Boys and Girls Club he was canceling STAR. We obtained an official statement from the Boys and Girls Club sent to the district. The nonprofit says the superintendent cites 3 reasons for canceling STAR. One included STAR not expanding to include other racial minority populations.
What is it we need to do differently to ensure that our beliefs about the brilliance of every child in our school that step through that door are fully enacted?
Madeline Hafner is the executive director of the Minority Student Achievement Network at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Her research is focused on helping schools close the racial achievement gap, an issue even the Menasha School District acknowledged internally in an equity statement saying Wisconsin has the nation's largest achievement gap between white and black students.
If kids don't feel known, seen, their family is known and seen, their cultural heritage is known and seen, they're not going to feel as supported toward higher education aspirations.
According to Boys and Girls Club, 92% of students who participated in STAR since it launched graduated from Menasha High School. District data shows 20% of its population identifies as Hispanic, 4% Black, 4% Asian, 0.6% Native American, and 7% more than one race. That brings us back to Amira, the 8th grader who says she just wants to go to class and succeed.
I just gotta focus and just work and just try my best.
In Menasha, Joshua Peguero, Action 2 News.
To a First Alert investigation out of Menasha, where some black families say they are feeling left out, unheard, unseen by the school district. A program aimed to help black students graduate and be accepted into colleges was canceled this year after some controversy broke out within the district. Now parents and experts are concerned that this could impact closing the racial achievement gap. Our Joshua Peguero has been investigating this decision. He joins us now to preview a First Alert investigation that will air tonight only on Action 2 News at 10 o'clock. So first, let's talk about the program, Joshua. What was the program that was canceled?
So the program was started by the Boys and Girls Club of the Fox Valley. It's called STAR, and what it was they did community surveys. They talked to a lot of community stakeholders, and they realized that there's an assistance or an attention that needs to be paid to black students. There was a gap in terms of the number of black students that were graduating on time, and so this program was just specifically directed to black students who they saw looking through their data who weren't graduating on time.
All right, so what's the name of the program, and was Menasha the only place that it was being used?
So the name is called the STAR program.
Okay.
That was started by the Boys and Girls Club of the Fox Valley, and it includes Appleton as well. So the Appleton area school district as well as Menasha Public Schools.
All right, so we mentioned there was a controversy within the district that led to this cancellation. So tell us what happened there. Give us the timeline on that.
So the timeline was last year in August. This program started in 2018, but August of 2020, one of the educators, a STAR coordinator, placed a sign outside of his office that read Black Lives Matter, I am with you.
Okay, so this was in the Menasha district.
This was in Menasha. It was at Maplewood Middle School, to be specific, and he was asked to take it down. He took it down, but instead he placed another one inside the classroom.
Okay.
And then the district said it violated its policy because it views Black Lives Matter as a political organization, whereas the STAR program and the Boys and Girls Club views the Black Lives Matter as a civil rights movement.
Okay, so some discrepancy on the view of the movement itself. So now let's talk about the investigation. What led you to look into this? How did we learn about it? And then how did you go about talking to people and finding out what happened? Because I would imagine that there was some reluctance, at least on some people's parts, to talk about it.
Yeah, so we first received a tip into the newsroom in late May.
Okay.
And the tip was we received 2 letters, one from the Boys and Girls Club of the Fox Valley sent to Menasha superintendent, and Menasha school superintendent sent to the Boys and Girls Club of the Fox Valley, basically just about some issues. I called the superintendent. They didn't want to talk on the record about it. I spoke with the Boys and Girls Club. They did not want to talk on the record about it. So it's something where I filed an open records request, and it took weeks. I mean, where this story is airing now, September 21st, and we first were tipped off in May.
Okay.
And so I combed through emails. I saw what was the issue, and then I also spoke with parents who this affects the most. It affects students. It affects parents who are wondering, like, how is my child going to succeed when this program was helping him, graduate on time,
Sure.
but also, a path to college.
So as you started looking into this, and again, as you just mentioned, it's been months of this. Is there anything that surprised you that you learned in the course of your investigation?
So the parents I spoke to, let me be clear, I spoke with parents who were upset, and they had children who were African American.
Okay.
Some of them were biracial. But what surprised me is just there seems to be some sort of squabble that happened between the Boys and Girls Club and as well as the school district, but then it leaves families like the rug was pulled right out of them because this program was canceled. So it seemed like talking to parents, like it stopped being about the kids and helping the kids get to college and helping them graduate on time and lead successful lives. And it became about them. And also, in speaking with experts, was the how in Wisconsin, state of Wisconsin, is the gap on the racial achievement gap. How white children and black kids graduate at different rates. And I think that just it was eye-opening to me because Wisconsin is considered one of the worst states when it comes to the racial achievement gap.
Ultimately, do you think anything comes of this in Menasha? In other words, is it gone for good? What are they trying to do to bridge the gap now that the program is gone?
Well, Menasha schools, to be clear, is saying that they're going to do everything they can to make sure black students succeed. As for families, they just don't know.
All right. We look forward to that investigation again coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. Thank you, Joshua. Let's